Learning about storytelling by analyzing the films that came before us is our favorite way to improve as storytellers ourselves. Today we're going to be looking at the most important part of a good horror film, the main character. But more specifically, we're going to be looking at how the storytellers use the external monster to show the character's internal flaw. In horror stories, the monster should serve more than just the threat of death. It must also be the external manifestation of the hero's flaw. We will show 3 examples of how storytellers have done this over the years. We start with Alien, Ridley Scott's masterpiece written by Dan O'Bannon and Ronald Shusett, and stars the illustrious Sigourney Weaver. In this film, Ripley is part of a spaceship towing crew that has been commissioned to stop and get the xenomorph for the people on Earth. Obviously, they don't tell the crew that they are getting a biological weapon, and of course, the horror ensues. Ripley starts out this film as just another one of the crew, barely affecting anything on her own. Just another cog in the machine.
Oh yeah, right.
On the surface, this film has an organic monster, but in reality, the monster is more mechanical than anything. With a big corporation telling the android Ash to value the creature more than the crew, and the creature being engineered, the theme of the horror is mechanical. And Ripley's big flaw is that she is just another cog in the machine and won't do anything about it. When we know that Ripley is much more than that. She needs something to force her out of this state and into one befitting her strength of character. So the storytellers use each of the 3 antagonistic forces to externalize Ripley's internal struggle, the struggle against the machine. And now we move on to The Exorcist, written by William Peter Blatty and directed by William Friedkin. In this movie, the monster is the child, Regan, who is possessed by a demon. And our main characters are the mother, Chris MacNeil, and the priest, Father Karras, who are both parents in their own right. It is no coincidence that these 2 characters are parents and that the monster just so happens to be a child. They are both dealing with their own flaws and insecurities. The mother is dealing with being a single mom and the pressure she feels to be a good parent for her child. This insecurity is accentuated by the fact that she can do nothing to help her daughter. Just like in real life, children go through growing pains, and there is nothing the parents can do but watch. Father Karras is dealing with his own insecurity about his religion. In a parallel to the mother, he is also dealing with being a parent. He is called a father, and his responsibilities are to his children. However, he is uncertain of God's existence and therefore unable to care for them properly. With the monster being in the child, it externalizes both our main characters' inner demons in the most dramatic way. And now we move on to something more lighthearted in Shaun of the Dead. In Simon Pegg and Edgar Wright's zombie spoof, they still make sure to utilize Shaun's inner demon and externalize it through the zombies. Shaun is a down-in-the-dumps Geek Squad employee who's just been dumped by his girlfriend for being too bland.
What do you mean do something?
And of course, the most brainless and faceless monster there is the zombie. Now, that's not to say that we don't like zombies, we're just in the business of calling it like it is. Zombies are the horror genre's drones, and that's exactly what Shaun starts this film as. The filmmakers even go so far as to use the first scene of him waking up to mimic the normal behavior of the zombies. We see that the only way that Shaun can get out of this state in his life is the only way that Shaun and his friends can survive the zombie apocalypse. He must change his ways and take back the reins of his life in all aspects, from his relationship with his best friend to his relationship with his girlfriend.
Oh, you made a plan.
Look, I don't care what the telly says, all right? We have to get out of here. If we don't, they'll come up here and they'll tear us to pieces. And that is really going to exacerbate things for all of us.
Shaun.
Look, Liz, this is not about you and me, all right? This is about survival.
Hopefully now you can see how the monster in the horror genre should be directly tied to the protagonist's main flaw and inner demon. and the only way that they can overcome the monster is by overcoming their flaw and changing for the better.
Player 2 has entered the game.
Ed!